Hello. If you ever feel stuck after you start very good, you push hard and after that burn out and something happens, it's not about motivation uh, run out. It's about cycle. And if you ever feel like that, it's okay. You just need to know how to acknowledge it, how to deal with it, and how to create the identity that you can, with which you can create the life which you want. This is everything about that. So I'm a doctor and transformational coach. My name is Yuri, and maybe 20 years I working in this field. And last 10 plus years, I'm working with people all over the globe and helping them to recognize these patterns and create the everyday habits that they can implement in everyday life and just turn things that was not understandable and was the like some kind of cycles and pattern, then they keep them from breaking through to make that breakthrough happens. And today workshop will be about this, about what is motivation is, how our neurology and physiology and emotionals react to deal with it, how our body helps us, how our body can hold us back, and what to do to be able to handle it in the best way and create the lifestyle as you want. And I will try to make it very simple and digestible for everybody. And not too much science, but more like real stories. And of course, let's jump in. So I will not talk too much about like entry. And yesterday I met a guy in the gym, and usually I like very friendly and a lot of people friendly also. And we start talking about like how his workout going on, and I share with him because he saw what I'm doing and I saw what he's doing. He asked me about my age. I said that I'm 45. He said it's it's impossible. Like, are you joking? And we start diving what I'm doing, what is my passion, that I'm a doctor in holistic field and transformational coach. And he like, wow, yeah, I'm a entrepreneur and I'm like pretty hardworking guy. And right now I'm like show up. It was Sunday actually, and I'm show up in the gym. And for me, it's also the normal routine. For him, it's like I need to push myself. I need more motivation. And I saw it so many times, that kind of pattern, because usually we are feeling something inside us that we have, and at the same time we have many different outside effects, right? Like environment, people, like work, social media, uh, economics, crisis, war right now, and so many different things. All of that affects us. It affects us in some way, and in the moment, from moment to moment, we can feel inner conflict. And motivation is something that we usually think that it's most important thing that we need to move on. So let's talk about some science-based and understanding in psychology, what kind of motivation actually we have, and for what we using it, and which one can really like helps us in the beginning, but after that burn us out, and which one can we use for long-term results. Because everything that we have right now in psychology and physiology inside us, it was some of that it was given us like in level of genetics, but most of the things like it's epigenetics. It's something that we create with our thoughts, with our meaning, with our actions on everyday basis. And we know that in some areas of life we're very good in results because we see them in the past, in the present, and in the future, we know that we will succeed because this is the story what we have. In some areas of life, especially when we're talking about like health, relationship, it's something that looks like it's very easy to structure, but at the same time, it's very complicated because it's so many different things involved. And our emotional state, it's very important because it's affect our physical patterns, that our the way how we acting. It means like what we're doing, how we talking, and collaborate with other people. So interesting thing that usually people think that I don't have enough motivation, but it's not a problem. Motivation is not a problem because we all have motivation in the core, and I will explain a little bit later. But the cycle can be the core issue, the cycle that burns us out. And you can ask yourself right now, what kind of situation, what kind of problem I have right now. Because uh, if you will look at this a little bit deeper about like what's the problem I have. In the problem, we have already solution. It's just the angle how we look at it. And motivation can be one of the great examples because in many areas of life, we think that we maybe we don't have enough knowledge, but we know that information is not a problem right now. Something missing, something other thing. We start things, and after that we burn out and cycle repeating. Like we try again harder, and after that we are quitting because we don't have looks like we don't have results, or if we even have short-term results, the way how we get in that results, it's not something that we want to do always. It's not something that fulfilled us, and this is a key. This is a very important moment. I'm sure that you hear about that. But like my mentor Tony Robbins, my teacher say that intellectual level, it's not the same as knowing something. Because when you know, it means like it's part of your identity. It's something that you do on an everyday basis, not even thinking about that. And usually, because our nervous system works like that, our genetics, and I'm explaining a little bit forward, I will explain a little bit later, but right now, uh, let me bring this up. You heard about that, pushing energy and pulling energy. Usually people use more pushing energy because it's available always. We always can find something what missing, what not right, what needs to be fixed. And it's give us this kind of emotional state that we needs to break through. And it give us a spark, some kind of energies that we are can transfer to some action, and is usually bonded with pain. Let me step by step bring up both of these energies because we have both. The main uh, driving force for the long term, what we use, this will be the huge difference what kind of results we will get. And I am learned so much of this from my teacher Tony Robbins. He brings this tool every time, and you can dive in. You don't need to believe everything what I said right now. We all use right now AI tools and Google, ChatGPT, and Gemini to dive in more. And this is the best approach from many different sources to get the point. And this workshop have some coaching questions so you can address them to yourself. Like, for example, what kind of energy you feel inside yourself? It's like you fighting against something, or you using more something like joyful, some goals and dreams in the front. Because I know that you have both, but where is your center of gravity? Because if it will be more running from pain, it means like a push. And our brain will always bring us something that we need to be care about. We need to be aware about this. We need to avoid this because it will be painful. And in different areas of life, we have things like that that give us a story, give us experience, and how we turn it to the energy and what it creates inside us. This is the most important thing. Because if we mostly using running from pain, fighting something, or run from something, we will have a burnout because it will rise a lot of hormones. It will change our chemistry. We will stuck more in cortisol mode. It's like sympathetic system uh, we using for achieving our goals. But we need to give our bodies and our mindset and emotions balance. We need to know how to switch from sympathetic to parasympathetic and what its parasympathetic is and what kind of driving force it's used because it's also have some level of hormones like adrenaline, like testosterone that helps us to achieve. And at the same time, it balances with other type of hormones that give us opportunity to recover and plan on the long term. Because if it's just a pushing, it's overwhelming. And you can search yourself right now. What the most of the time during the day are you focused more about? And I one more time want to say that I'm not here to tell you what to do, but just look on your approach from these two types of energy that you have, because both of them looks like motivation. And why we stuck in the loop and sometimes burning out because pushing energy becomes like our main source. It's not good or bad. It's just overwhelming and it's create this tension in our body because first of all, emotional and mental state are in danger mode. We need to fight, flight, or freeze. Pulling energy, it's something to get something what we want. It's more with joy. It's more with pleasure. Even when we think about that, our brain release dopamine. So, okay, let's move forward. And we know many examples like that. And we create a journal of goals and dreams, of course. But if we look at this journal one time a year or one time a quarter, like every 3 months, it's good, but it's not enough to create this capacity, this energy of joy and fulfillment. And uh, because our nervous system and our brain was always pulling out something that is dangerous, we need to avoid, we need to be prepared. The identity shifts to that way of operating on the level of our actions and thoughts and emotions. So running from the pain becomes our main source, and we are starting burning out. And strategies we pull also painful, like to, for example, in the body transformation, it should be everyday workouts. You come to the gym and die or not come at all. And it's a burnout because professional athletes can deal with it because it's their lifestyle. But for most of the people, it's not. The same with the deadlines in different projects. If it's something that you're working and it's given to you, and it's not really what you dream about, but you need to pay your bills, you need to do something to make it happen, it's creating inside you tension. But when you transfer it in the different vision, it's not just to pay bills. I have a purpose, I have a meaning, and I have a strategy, and it brings me joy. It's something that shifts your whole physiology, and you gain more pleasure, and it gives you more vision, and it fulfills your life more. So some kind of strategy is very important. Fulfillment is something that can helps you to run it for long term, and it's create different like chemistry inside your body and helps you to not burning out with a vision and with the joy. Even challenges looks different. We be able to see who we become on the way, not just the challenge itself that we need to fight it. So we will not burn out with pulling energy. And we, like I said, we have both, and you feel it. I know that you feel it. I don't need to tell you so much about that. The focus is how on everyday basis become a master of your pulling energy. This is the whole game because we have a lot of pushing energy. You can look around. And why we burning out, this is a slide that shows very perfectly. You can get more information, additional one, and different approaches from psychiatry, psychology, coaching, all of that. If you know how to use it on everyday basis and like frame it with the pull energy, all of that will work for you. And you can even check this out. The first one is a honeymoon. Like, what does it mean? For example, I met another person a few days ago, and she tell me a story that now she will start it and she will finish it. Even yesterday, one lady who I know like 20 years, she remember me when I was 300 pounds, and now she see me in what shape I am, and she knows that like she knows my story and that I am like many years like that in this shape, and she thinking that I am running these like hard diets and restricts myself in everything. And she said, no, I don't know how you can be able to do so. And not everybody can do so because she don't know the details and she don't know the approach, how I work with my clients and patients. And when I share with her a little bit, she said, okay, I need to change my approach because I try so many times and I always burn out. But today, right now, I decide and I want to do so, and it will be burnout. I know that because that approach train your nervous system to protect yourself for after a little bit of time. So few days, few weeks, you'll be able to run it. It's like this honeymoon phase. That lady in the gym yesterday, I met her in person, not yesterday, a few days ago, but she also shares the same story, similar story. So it's so many different like stories, but they are similar in relationships, in a business, in health, in financial situation. And this pattern are very, very similar. So after that second phase, second phase, when we are start working harder, when like we make a decision and we pull ourselves. For example, restriction diets are like every day 1 hour workouts in the gym. And it looks like, okay, yeah, it's working and I'll be able to do so. And third phase is when something happens. We feel too much pressure and a lot of stress and our sleep interrupts. We becomes more irritated. It affects our relationships, our self-talk. It affects our work. It affects a lot of like it becomes like spread around different areas in our life. And everything shifts in the fourth stage when burnout happens. And after that, we are staying in the another phase for a little bit when we gain when we stay in self-pity, when we gain in depression, like some kind of emotional we try to explain what's going on, and after that we get through that emotional loop to aggression mode. My teacher Tony Robbins named it crazy eight pattern that happens. So we stay in that a little bit, and after that we make another decision. I have my like breakthrough happen. This is my threshold. I am done with it, and we start the new cycle. And you maybe can recognize it. It's a simple frame of what's going on, and it becomes a way of living. And a lot of people think that it's only one way, but the whole point that it's not. When we know how it's working, we acknowledge it, and we know for what we need it. And this slide, I pick up like few different pictures, and you can see here in this slide when we have amygdala, hypothalamus, hippocampus, and neocortex, like frontal cortex or prefrontal cortex. You don't need to remember all of this. Many of you like reacts, oh, this is what I know for sure. This is like some kind of beasts, the guys sitting here and doing funny things, enjoying time, and after that, when they see this animal, this beast, some of them go straight to fighting mode, some of them like freezing, and other guy just run away. And this is what happens. We can recognize this one. This is what happens when usually our brain, our nervous system, our identity on the level of instincts protect us, because even chemistry changes. We are running basically on cortisol level, and it's changed many different systems. It's shut down the immune system, it's rise our blood work, it's shut down digestive system, and it just changed our whole chemistry to be able to execute in this moment. Usually, our neocortex, our frontal lobe, not active in this mode. So we usually using more amygdala, hypothalamus, and hippocampus to deal with it, because neocortex, it's something that it's about strategic mode, it's about like executing for long term, thinking about something, what like consequences it will happens, and more in constructive way. And in this kind of reaction, when all of these four systems activated, especially neocortex, when we have a stress, but it's something that we create for ourselves, so we can add more pleasure. Okay, now I need to deal with it, but I will have a reward. I know how it will helps me, and we create the blueprint, and we use more pull energy. So how we can manage it? Because usually in this just on level of emotions and instincts, our plans usually collapses. You see, this is a great picture that I found, and it's shows really what's going on. It's like a hit us, like all plans disappear and falling apart, and we just use on these simple modes. Usually, we stick with one that we know the best. Most of us can stuck in aggression, and sometimes short period of time in freezing and running. Some of us more in freezing and running than in fighting mode. So more depression and like feeling in self-pity mode and avoiding situations, and both of these approaches, they not give us the life what we really wants. It's not lead us to our long-term goals, our dreams. And this is how very fast few years or decades can just burn out. When we look back and think like, okay, this is was like my last year. What? I had so many plans. I rolled them down during New Year resolutions, right? How we do that, like we are having, and it's beautiful. It's motivate us. We having some goals and dreams, and we can share even with others. And usually, because we drop in that pushing energy, we end up in burnout. And during the year, we can like go through few cycles. And what kind of data we collect during that year? Usually, my teacher Tony Robbins said we collecting negative data, and we stick to the this lifestyle of fighting, freezing, or running, and we not put enough effort on the next cycle because we are expecting not really fulfilling results, and we don't need to stick to it because with pulling energy we can we can still use pushing energy but stick to pulling energy and keep it on mind. And the biggest question right now you can ask yourself how your body support your everyday activities. What kind of level you have of energy? Because I know by myself many times in life with my good eating habits, with my physical activities, when stress hits, last few years was very challenging. I moved to different country to start my new business. Pandemic hits, everything changes in my business. I start transfer it to online, and many like partners they just cut even my portion in the business, some of them even my family members. It was very heartbreaking, but I start dealing with it. So I was like blocked from flying back and forth to Europe and United States. Part of my family was there, and during that pandemic, even when I support myself with physical activities and good food, because some food can like overwhelm us and bring so much different like waste that even our body heavy to consume. At the same time, I know that, and I can like manage my meal plan, that it will be very easy to digest, like give some kind of cleansing, and I can keep my routine, my physical activities. At the same time, when stress gives you so much pressure on the level of your emotions, and you starts stacking your like images, your predictions, okay, what we will get, what we will be next, and everything that happens, because life always bring you challenges, you thinking like, okay, new challenge, and you not be able to see the future. Everything becomes like a tunnel, like a dark tunnel, and you like try to execute it the best you can, and you drain out. So I start using a lot of tools that I learned from Tony Robbins, Chloe Madanas, and other coaches and trainers and mentors. First of all, manage my approach of thinking, of feeling, and these bring me fundament. And mostly I use on everyday basis these tools. I change my state first. After that, I change my meaning, my focus, and after that, my self-talk. And it's on everyday basis. It gives me so much more benefits. One more time, I want to tell you that all of that important. But if you are right now mentioning like, okay, I'm doing this, where is the gap? Where is the like what I'm missing? One of them it's like these two energies that we balancing between, and probably focus more should be on the pulling energy, not pushing, because pulling give you fulfillment. And the good news that we all have it on genetics level. As a kids, you remember, maybe you not remember, but if you have kids, you see they have so much curiosity. Even if they have fear, they still moving forward. They put in their head like in some dark place, and just with dirt and to be able to just explore. They falling many times and get it up. All of us was there. But why? we are when we look how kids deal with it, it's always inspiring, especially when we get older, when we see kids inside us in something like, oh my gosh, they they fearful, they exploring, they be able to be like they cry 1 minute ago and right now they laughing and joyful. What, like, how it's happened? Oh, they kids. We be able to be the same even when we are 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. Why? Because we are stay in that identity. What I mean, and you heard about that in the big book, saying be like a kids, be like a child. In many different religions and philosophical approaches, we have this kind of mindset: curiosity, wondering, learning, like the student mindset. How you be able to stay in that mode if you are in pushing energy? It's difficult to do. Even learning new pattern, your brain becomes like more defensive. But when open-minded uh, state comes up, we want to learn new things. We become more open. Even our communication changes with ourselves and with others, and it's changed a lot of things in our life. So the good news, on genetic level, we have that. In our biology and physiology, what happens later? Later happens that we are losing momentum of joy, becoming somebody, like a process, and we stick more to outcome. What's the goal? What I will have? And we start thinking more in that approach of what I will get if I will do this. What if I will not get it? And we stick to that approach of reacting more than creating. And we lose this identity. It's not mean that we don't have it right here, right now. We lose asset to it because we not practice it anymore. We not practice it. We can practice it after we understanding on intellectual level. Okay, what is a pushing and pulling energy inside me? What I call motivation. Right now, I know the difference. And how I can stick more to pull, what I need to do for that, what I need to create, because I can keep focus on it. And it's for both genders, like males and females. We have this shift when our experience growing, when our neocortex start operating, and we are more stick to this reaction mode, when, like on level of instincts and emotions, and it helps us in some kind of way. But when we live it on everyday basis and just everything solve in that kind of approach, we will have burning out, because it will, first of all, it's create for us a kind of cage. It will be like a pressure, and we will fight, fight, fight. And after that, we will burn out, because it will be never ending fighting, never ending running, never ending hiding. And of course, our nervous system, our body don't wants to live like that. So creating new identity, it's a process, and we can have, like, we can like put as a puzzles, you see, like we can have a goal, skills, confidence, values, but at the same time here, you see the heart, like a meaning, like building our purpose and love at the same time. So it becomes our identity. We motivate it from inside, and we can spread it outside. Maybe you know how you feels when you feel like that, and everybody have these sparks. But like my teacher Tony Robbins said, where is your center of gravity and what do you focus on an everyday basis? I like this picture, and I decide to put it here because this is how we look even in the mirror when we have this identity of motivation. Nothing will stop me. I know what I'm doing. And it's not through pain, it's through pleasure, through meaning, through love. We be able to have so much gratitude, even for challenges and how we treat ourselves. Not just like, I will crush everybody. No, we treat ourselves that I will be able to create so much more goods for greater good, not just like fight more for myself and here and just avoid like conversation with people, staying by myself. This is what's going on right now in society, and you can probably feel it and see it. So our inner dialogue even change, how we see ourselves and how we see a world outside. And this is an interesting thing. So now you get it and you can process it and create the like everyday basis tools how to create this identity of motivation from inside. But the interesting thing that communications can give us even different like transfer of things that we can care about, we believe about, and what we say to each other. Because some kind of conversations can be like, if I say, be careful, it can be transferred like, I don't believe in you. Or opposite, if I will tell, I believe in you, you can do that, in other perspective can looks like they want to leave me alone. He want to leave me alone. He wants to me do everything by myself. So this balance, when we create the trust and at the same time belief system that we can support each other, and you be able to feel it more when you in this identity motivation state because you have both. You have gratitude and you have an inner strength. You have love, compassion, in the same time you are straight and you have a clarity what to do. And this kind of approach create inside bond that we can even feel it outside because we have it inside. And this kind of creating the environment inside ourselves and outside, care and trust, when we can support each other and at the same time not be by ourselves, not like more individuals, but in the same time in collectively support each other in our relationships, in our business. This is go through this identity when you have a lot of pushing uh, sorry, when you have a lot of pulling energy. Pushing exists, but pull is something that you can um, create much more. So one more time, we not put pushing versus pulling. We're not balancing between them. We are understanding that pulling energy give me long-term results. How I can create more supportive instruments like tools in my everyday basis. And fast, what I love to do is using different tools. What I pick up from Tony Robbins, it's a triad. When you change your physiology, focus, and meaning, your languages. And we can use in the beginning to change our physiology, different things. Here with the grounding, we can say it's breathing when we can change with the smell, with the taste, something. We can drink some liquids. But even without having access to eat something, drink something, we can touch ourselves. We can make a breathe in, breathe out. We can focus on something. I love Eckhart Tolle approach. Look at something without naming it. Just look of the like with curiosity, with wondering, and with gratitude. For example, when you look at the mirror on your arm, we have a name. This is my palm. But before name of this word was exist, this was even before language. And this is something that we can look without just it is my palm and I use it for this or that. it's becomes a mechanism. It's losing the some kind of beauty. And I don't mean that we need to stare our on our palm 24/7, but sometimes give you this grounding moment when you can see it. It gives you some connection, and it's like bring you to the presence. And we can practice it with others. We can see something behind their names, their status, or their behavior, what they doing like. And we can do it together. We can have many different tools. I love to do, I'm stuck to Wim Hof approach many years ago, but I remember my grandfather bring it to me. Like all of these cold hot shower grounding, using just barefoots to walk and feel the ground, feel the floor, and give yourself a moment of just not thinking about nothing. This is a beautiful thing how we can create this environment, and it change our chemistry, and we can create a practice. The interesting thing that intellectually understanding all of these that we, I bring here, you know a lot of this, but make it your identity, master it. This is the when people when a lot of people missing because they use so much pushing energy. You not be able to cover this gap with pushing energy. It never leads you to mastery. You know that in every area of life where you achieve, you have a pull energy more than push energy. Check an area of your life where you succeed and you will see it. You have a blueprint, you have a meaning, you have a inner beliefs, even in circumstances that like they very stressful and like everything looks falling apart. But inside you, you have this, I know that it will happen. You have a connection with your higher power, with yourself, with the universe, God, Mother Earth, no matter how you name it. In For scientists, people who more running that approach is right now we have quantum physics, quantum biology, and it's explained a lot how energy created vibrations, all of that frequencies. So many beautiful things we can use. I use these little things during the day on everyday basis, and it brings me much more pulling energy than pushing. One more time, we have both, and both of them exist for us. But when we use more consciously pulling energy and understanding and grateful for pushing, because we will see a lot of people around us still using that pushing energy, and burnouts happens, and you can even hear it from the stories, and you understand in which phase they are. In the honeymoon phase, they like, I can do it, let's do it. This is how people usually feels after some seminars. But what happens next? What they using on everyday basis, like what kind of identity they have. This is will be the biggest difference. And the good thing, the good news that we can use, we can choose and we can use both approaches with the focusing more to pulling energy. And when we train it on everyday basis, we plant the seeds. When we plant it and we see the like the these little greens show up, right? We not leave it like that. Like okay, this sprouts already can grow by itself. No, we care about it. The same with our like new habits with we need environment, we need support, we need mentorship, we need some guidance, and all of that, it's that create lasting change. We have like progress for the long-term results. And this is what I am always focusing on when I'm about to anchoring something that I know I need it. I know that I need to master it. I know information. I need to practicing on everyday basis tool this environment, and I need coaching. I need mentorship. This is why I create the environment and community and teaching about life force five life force tools. It's about mastering your emotions, your state, and your motivation identity inside, like sculpturing it. And I'm inviting you to keep in touch there. Of course, uh, you can do wherever you want with this information. And I am appreciate that if you watch it and you hear right now in the end, I'm appreciate for your time. And let's keep in touch in social media. Join my free community, and it's much more cool stuff there, like some tools that you can practice in a classroom. I'm put it in the system, so you can not just use like theory things. You can use workbooks, like 1 week. Journaling that you can use as a frame for yourself. And this is how you can master and sculpt your new identity. And I wish to hear from you some of your transformational stories. And drop some like or dislike, sign up for this channel, because this is channel all about this kind of contact that helps us grow and contribute more. Eugene Yuri was here with you, and I will see you on the next episode. Drop any kind of question in the chat and under this video, and I will be happy to keep in touch with you. Thank you for your time, and God bless.